GLS Solicitors is led by award-winning solicitor Harjap Singh Bhangal. GLS Solicitors, when the experts need an expert.
ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ ਆਇਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦ ਸ਼ੋ। ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਯੂਜਲੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰੀਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਦੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰੀਦੇ ਹਾਂ that affect daily day to day running day to day life। ਐਂਡ ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਸ਼ੋ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਗੈਸਟ ਸਾਡੇ ਆਏ ਆ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਤੋਂ। ਐਂਡ ਆਲਸੋ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੌਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਅਫੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ। ਪਿਛਲੇ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ ਜੋ ਰੋਨਨ ਕਾਂਡਾ ਦਾ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਆਪਾਂ ਚੱਕਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ in relation to ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਤੇ ਕਮੇਟੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਗਲਤ ਵਰਤਾਅ ਕੀਤਾ ਆ, ਬੁਲੀਇੰਗ ਕੀਤੀ ਇੱਕ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੀ, ਬਦਮਾਸ਼ੀ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਹੀ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਢੀਠਪਣਾ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਦਿਖਾਇਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ। ਜਿਹਦਾ ਕਤਲ ਹੋਇਆ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਵਿਕਟਿਮ ਬਣਾਇਆ, ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਡੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਵੀ ਜੇਲ੍ਹ ਗਏ ਆ, ਉਹ ਨਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਕਤਲ। for you, what do you expect? Your kids killed someone, that's what they deserve to go to jail। ਉਹ ਮਾਂ ਦਾ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਚਲ ਗਿਆ, ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਪਰ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੋ ਵਰਤਾਅ ਹੋਇਆ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਕੀ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਚੰਗੀ ਸੀ ਜਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ, ਉਹਦੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਲੋਕ ਆਏ, ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ। ਬਟ ਬਹੁਤ ਲੋਕ ਚੁੱਪ ਵੀ ਰਹੇ ਐਂਡ ਦੈਟਸ ਅ ਬਿਗ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਵੈਨ ਯੂ ਸਟੇ ਸਾਇਲੈਂਟ ਜੋ ਜ਼ੁਲਮ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੋਵੇ what you're doing is you're choosing the side of the zulmi and the oppressor। One person and group who didn't stay silent and ਜੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਖੜੇ ਆ ਇਸ ਮੂਵਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, I'm very happy ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਏ Gurpreet Kaur from the Kaur Movement all the way from Canada। ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ welcome।
Thank you for having me here।
The Kaur Movement, our daughters and sisters are inspired by it। I became aware ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ pages ਦੇਖਿਆ, ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਿ we've got common interest in exposing wrongdoings in our community।
You're really straight up and straightforward।
Yeah,
so that's what I like।
Yeah.
One thing I'm like, okay, I'm like that too।
I love people like that।
Yeah,
because at least there's no, there's no like you don't have to eggshells, treading on eggshells.
Yeah.
Right? What's the issues?
Yes.
Let's get stuck in, Alan।
Yeah.
And so my friend's daughter is at uni, and he said to me, he goes, "Have you heard of the Kaur Movement?" And I said, "I heard about them." I go, "Check it out. My daughter's been really inspired by them lately, and like." saying dad this and this, and I checked it all out. Yeah, it's amazing. And I thought, right, I've got to start following this, and I really like the stuff that you do। Tell us about the Kaur Movement। How a woman like you decides one day I'm going to set up this Kaur Movement।
I started it in 2019। The Kaur Movement was something for my own healing। I was going through a lot। I was not mentally well in the sense of the sexual abuse experiences I had in my life। It all just piled up and in my head, and I'm like, okay, like I need to do something about it। And when I took my case to court, as in like I reported it, the process was so traumatizing. Everything was just traumatizing। So for me, it was like I felt alone। So anybody that comes to me for help now is like, I know how you feel because I have been in that position। So now I want to be there when they're alone, and then when they feel like, vulnerable or not protected। So when I started, it was actually called Hush Hush।
Right.
It was not something, the plan was never to have it this big,
to be a movement or a worldwide movement, right?
No, it was not anything that I thought that was going to happen। It was for me to connect with other people on social media anonymously and see if someone else has experienced what I have gone through। Because I'm like, I'm telling people around me, but they're not understanding anything. They're just telling me to be quiet about it, not talk about it, but I need to talk about it, right? So I was like, I'm going to connect with people that have actually experienced this। At that point, I thought I was the only one that dealt with all this kind of stuff।
Did you expect support from your community? And when you didn't get the support that you got, how did that make you feel personally?
Before starting the movement, I was about to kill myself। Like, I'm like,
That's how bad it got for you?
It got that bad. Because all the abuses that I went through, they all added up, and then I exploded. And then I'm like, okay, this is what has happened. And I wasn't getting that support that I needed. They were like, why are you coming out after so long? Why are you doing this? Or like, oh my god, ita sharm di gal hai, hun tera biyah kidda hoga? Even though
idda loਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ
ਇਦਾਂ ਕਿਹਾ, ਬਹੁਤ ਬਥੇਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ, ਫੈਮਲੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਕਿਹਾ।
ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਚੁੱਪ ਕਰ, ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ ਪੰਗੇ ਲੈਣ ਦੀ,
all of that kind of stuff। and ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਅਬਿਊਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਫੰਕਸ਼ਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਬੁਲਾਉਣੀ ਪਈ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ abuse ਕੀਤਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਰੱਖੜੀਆਂ ਬੰਨੀਆਂ ਆ.
No way.
Yeah. So then that's the thing. It's not only me. A lot of women go through that. Like, because what? Sexual abuse within families.
Yeah.
90% of the cases, it's statistics, right? 90% is within families. When you get sexually assaulted, it's someone that you know. Only 7% is strangers.
Yeah.
Right? So, just that, like 7 to 10.
ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰਾਖਸ਼ ਸਾਡੇ ਘਰਾਂ 'ਚ ਹੀ ਬੈਠੇ
ਘਰਾਂ 'ਚ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ.
Right.
And ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ, ਮਾਮਾ ਨੂੰ, ਮਾਮੀਆਂ, like everyone usually knows ਵੀ ਆਹ ਬੰਦਾ
ਔਰਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਪਤਾ
ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ.
ਪਰ ਉਹ ਦੱਸਦੀਆਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ.
No. ਉਹ ਕਹਿ ਦੋ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਦੂਰ ਹੈ, ਜਾਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਨਾ ਪਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ, ਜਾਂ ਸਮਾਈਲ ਨਾ ਕਰ, ਜਾਂ ਉਹ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਇੱਥੇ, then you question it ਵੀ ਫਿਰ ਇਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਵਿੱਚ, ਇਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਫੰਕਸ਼ਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਦੇ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਆ. ਉਦੋਂ ਕੁਛ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ, ਉਦੋਂ ਕੁਛ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ. ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ,
why is it not that attitude ਕਿ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਧੋਣੋਂ ਫੜ ਕੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛ ਕੇ ਤੂੰ ਗਲਤ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਤੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ, ਤੈਨੂੰ ਨਿਕਲ ਇੱਥੋਂ. ਆਪਾਂ ਲੜਕੀ ਤੇ ਕਿਉਂ ਦਬਾਅ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ? why is that?
ਕਰ ਵੀ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਏਦਾਂ, ਮੀਟਿੰਗਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਐਂਡ ਮਾਫੀ ਮੰਗਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ, whatever, ਏਦਾਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਬਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਤੂੰ ਗਲਤ ਕੀਤਾ, ਓਕੇ ਠੀਕ ਆ.
Is that real or is that just a ਦਿਖਾਵਾ?
ਦਿਖਾਵਾ ਹੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਆ. ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਪਤਾ ਕੀ, ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਆ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਉਹ ਮੇਰੀ ਡਾਟਰ ਨਾਲ ਤੂੰ ਏਦਾਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਤੂੰ ਕਾਤੇ ਕੀਤਾ, ਉਹਦੇ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਣਾ, ਜਾਂ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿਨ ਵੀ ਕੀਤਾ, ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਚੋਂ the girl is expected, ਹੁਣ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਫੰਕਸ਼ਨ 'ਚ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਆ, ਬਾਕੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਵੇ. ਸੋ ਫਾਰਮੈਲਿਟੀਆਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਬੁਲਾਓ, like you know, ਬਾਕੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੇ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਇਆ.
And that's no wonder you were feeling suicidal.
Yeah, I was so suicidal because I had to
see the same.
Oh, they didn't blame me. They were like, "Why is she still talking about it? Get over yourself." And then it just.
Oh, what an attention seeker.
Attention. Yeah.
Really?
I was at the point where I was like, okay, maybe what happened to me wasn't that much, and I'm just being dramatic.
Or maybe it was my fault.
Maybe it was my fault. Oh, I did. I questioned a lot.
So that's almost akin to grooming you.
Yeah. It was silencing.
Like gaslighting you and
gaslighting. Oh, fe tu na ja function te jile on utte hona hai. Why was he even invited to the functions?
Yeah.
Why was he there? Why weren't you saying he shouldn't be there? Chalo chaliye.
Yeah.
All the family. If every family member knows this banda is wrong, why am I in the same room as that banda? That's my question. And it's like, hey, ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬਲੈਕ ਲਿਸਟ ਤਾਂ ਕਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਉਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਕੱਢ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮੈਡਲ ਦਿਓ ਗੋਲਡ, ਫਿਰ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਸੰਦ ਕੇ
ਮਾਮਾ ਆ, ਤਾਇਆ ਆ, ਮਾਸੀ ਆ, ਕਜ਼ਨਸ ਆ, ਸਾਰੇ ਇਹੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ.
What about, how old were you, your age at this sort of time? Because you must have been quite young.
So my first sexual abuse was my adopted brother. We lived in the same household, and I was sexually assaulted when I was 5 years old, and I remember everything, and I was only 5.
God.
Yeah, that was the first.
And that continued for how long?
So
how long will you?
So when I say that, so I was lucky. I was
really brave, man, talking about this.
Yes, I was really lucky. I was really lucky that my parents walked in and saw him on top of me.
Really?
And they
grabbed him,
brought him out. He was sent back to India, right?
Okay.
And then they brought him back.
Okay.
Like, you know, like after 10, because it's the law, you can't, it's underage, like if you adopted someone. So my parents are really, really nice. Right. Let's just say forgiving.
Supportive.
So they're like, okay, he did this, we did this with him.
No chance though.
No chance though. But it's like, okay, you're giving him the chance, but why did he come into the same house? Why wasn't he sent to my mama's house? Why did he live in my house? Because you know what? They actually thought I didn't remember that incident.
Did that create a lot of friction in your family?
I never talked about it. They never knew that I knew. So I was 5 years old.
They thought
So when I brought it up, when I got older, they were shook. They're like, tenu yaad hai? I'm like, mainu ta pata hai vi main kapra kere vi paya saga. On kera kapra paya saga, mainu color thode yaad hai.
And then what?
And then they were just so shook. They're like, this is not allowed then. We're so sorry. They didn't understand.
But if you hadn't remembered?
If I hadn't remembered, then yeah. And the thing is, he actually apologized to my parents about it when he got older. But I never got an apology. My parents did.
Oh, damn.
That's the story, like, you know. And I was actually taken to the hospital. My parents did all the parts that they were supposed to do.
That's good parents.
So just to, like, be careful, like we just walked in. Luckily, like, we're not sure.
Yeah.
Took us to the doctor. I was underage. The doctor had an obligation, Punjabi doctor, by the way, had an obligation to report it. Right at that spot.
To the police.
When I brought this forward to the cops and everything, they're like, we went and looked into your the records at the doctors.
Couldn't find anything.
Couldn't find anything.
Wow.
Because when I went with my mom, we talked about it. Everything spilled there. And my mom's like, we're going to deal with this. And the doctor didn't write the notes he was supposed to write. It's supposed to be reported. I was underage.
When did you report this to the police, if you did?
We're just before I started the Kaur Movement.
Which was how?
2019.
2019, so this
Yes.
is what, about 4 years ago?
4 years ago, yep. It all came, I started reporting.
Why did you report it to the police after all this time? Why was there a need for it, or did you just feel, you know what, this is something I have to do?
Because now he's an Amritari.
Oh, so he was doing the whole Bakanda thing of...
Yeah.
Oh, is he genuinely an Amritari?
Yeah, no.
Oh, his actions aren't.
Yeah, his actions aren't, and he's wearing that, like, you know, bana, and disrespecting it. My thing was you disrespected it, right? I was Amritari till I was 14 years old.
Really?
Yes, I was I went to Khalsa school, I was Amritari and everything. But the sexual abuses that I went through...
And there was more?
More. There's several more. I can't even explain. I went to India.
Relatives?
Relatives, family, friends. I went to a Gurdwara when I was younger in India. And there was a Baba there, and I was playing with a girl there. That was my neighbor at that time. And the Baba there was touching us inappropriately. He brought us... Like, he's like, hello, Pot, Sasrikal, like, someone that's in Habana. And then he started touching us inappropriately at that time. I remember that, and I was just quiet about it. We were so young. We're confused. He's like in his 70s, and he was kissing here, touching our back, and we're like, what's happening? And then we just kind of ran and went home. A family friend that sexually assaulted me when I was at a family dinner. And my brother was there. Everyone was there, but nobody knows what's happening. Right, so that was older again. That sexual abuse was repeated actually a few times. Every family function I would go to, something would happen. Then I went to a wedding in New York, for my mom's. My mom and dad, we went there for a wedding, and the guy that I met there was supposed to be my cousin, and who sexually assaulted me. He's like, oh, tera bra aaya, tusi pehli bari milne lage hain, you know. I'm like, oh, hey, how are you? Whatever. The wedding happened. Everything was great. We were actually gonna go stay at their house, so we went and stayed at the house. And that night I was so tired. I'm like, you guys go wherever you guys want to go. I was like probably in 18, 19, around there. You guys go wherever you guys want to go. I'm gonna go to sleep. So we were provided rooms, right? So the kids are all there. The other siblings are asleep. Yeah. And there's a bed here and a bed here. So I'm on this bed and I'm passed out. My parents have gone with his parents, and they're gone to see, like, you know, touristy stuff. Yeah. And all of a sudden, it's like probably like 12 or 1, I don't even remember the time. I just remember a guy that's older than me gets on top of me and starts touching me without consent. I remember a knife. I remember my mouth being shut the whole time. I remember just being frozen and so shocked because I just called in my brother. We were just about, like, what's happening in the middle of the night? And I actually laid on that bed the whole night. And then he went to sleep on the bed next to me after, because I pushed him off. Like, nothing went too far. And I kept fighting. Pushed him off, and then he just randomly just got off, and he went on the bed, and then he went.
As if nothing's happened.
As nothing's happened, and I was awake the whole night, but I just did not move.
Because you thought you could be attacked.
Yeah, I don't even remember when my parents came. I don't remember anything. I was just frozen, and then in the morning I got up. I went, and then we were about to leave back to Canada, and my parents like, okay, let's pack our stuff. I'm packing everything. Everything's good to go. The guy's not there at this point. And I'm just saying bye to the parents. All of a sudden, there's a phone call, and it's him calling. And he's like, oh, can I talk to Preet? And they're like, oh, but tera bra tera gal karna chahunda hai. I'm like, what? And I hold the phone like this. And he's like, Preet, I'm so sorry what I did. I don't even know what happened. I hope you have a safe flight, and blah, 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 blah. I somehow, like, I didn't say anything, but I started tearing up. And his parents were like, oh, what a
demon he is.
Yeah. That's what they're thinking. Like, oh, you know, emotional ho gaya, challe hain, hun milna nahi kitne time baad cho.
You're saying multiple incidents, yeah?
Yeah, multiple.
Was it any sort of attempt by people to say, well, hold on, maybe you're getting all this wrong, maybe you're understanding all this wrong, maybe the baba kissing you on the cheek, it's just so what appan and grandchildren kiss karte hain on the cheek. Was there sort of any attempt sort of that?
Yeah, everything. So you sure am? Like all these questions.
Second guessing you all the time, right?
Yeah, because you don't know what's already happened to you. You're such a child. We don't get taught bad touch, good touch.
No.
We don't get, like, you know.
We should do, you know.
Yeah, the parents should be doing
so,
this, yeah. But yeah, they just did not know. Nobody knew. I never told anyone. I was like, there's no point. If my adopted brother stayed with me for this long, like, this is my thought process in my mind when I did not share with anybody. I was like, if he stayed with me after having all of that, who are these people? What are they? They're not going to get cut out. I'm going to see them all the time.
When does, then, in Gurpreet's life, it all boil up? And when does she say, right, enough's enough, I need to do something about this and I need to prevent
I lost it. I was
when you say lost, describe what you mean lost.
Okay. Mental health-wise, I was...
Crying every day, breaking down?
Breaking down. That was already happening in the childhood. Like, randomly, I would have episodes and I would go to a hospital. Like, randomly, I would, like, have... Like, I wasn't able to sleep randomly. My parents weren't understanding what was going on and they would take me to the hospital, but they didn't know the answers. So, like, they didn't know because I wasn't saying anything. I felt like I was going to get blamed because I could see it. I can see everyone, how they act and whatever it is. I was like, what's the point?
Is that a community thing or is that a parent-specific thing?
Community. Because my parents, like, they're like, hey, galtiya. Like, you know, at the end of the day. But the people around us made it so hard for anybody to talk about it. Yeah, that's just, yeah.
An attempt to shut it down. To have the conversation, right?
Yeah.
Just like we...
Like, other people were saying it. My parents never said it to me.
Right.
Other people were saying it, and then that gets to everyone's head, right?
And you think that sort of perhaps put pressure on them, or?
Yeah, it did. It definitely did. They were like, oh, now we have to cut all these people out? I'm like, so you want to go say Sat Sri Akal to them? Do you want to talk to them?
ਤੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਤੇ ਜਾਣ ਜੋਗਾ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਛੱਡਿਆ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਘਰ ਛੱਡ ਦਿਆ ਕਰੀਏ
ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਹਨ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੋਣਾ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਤੂੰ ਨਾ ਜਾ ਫਿਰ
I get a feeling of that yeah that conversation must happen ਜਿੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ ਤੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਨਵਾਂ ਪੰਗਾ ਵੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰ
yeah I'm the troublemaker. I'm the one that was
for calling it all out, right?
Yeah, when I was younger I would act a certain way, like, you know, and it was actually because of all the stuff I was experiencing and nobody was kind of understanding. And when it all came forward, it was a joke. I was left alone. I ran away when I started the Kaur Movement.
Right.
Yeah, I just disappeared.
Why?
I just had to leave. I was like, this is not a safe space. I was losing it. When I said I was losing it, when I went to...
You did not feel safe at all?
I did not feel safe. Even though my parents tried to make me feel so safe. I was like, trust has been broken from all ends. I wasn't protected as a child. I was not protected. So, you know what? Like... I don't need to respond. I don't care if you guys think I'm pagal. I don't care anymore. Like, think whatever you want to think.
How do you come back from that? How did you come back from that?
So, the mental breakdown I had that day before making it the Kaur Movement. So what happened is I got a call from the police station, which is also a really bad way the justice system works. I got a call saying, hey, your case isn't going to be going anywhere.
This is your case against your adopted brother, right?
Yeah, adopted brother, another person as well.
Okay.
And yeah, I can't even, if I get into this, it would be,
Oh, we have 3 days.
Yeah, it's a lot before the movement started. So then I was like, okay, I just got this call, the case is not going to go anywhere. And then instead of, like, this stuff should be happening in person when a police officer is telling you this, but it was over a phone call. And I'm like, okay, so all the trauma that I just shared with you, the 5 hours that they record at a police station, everything that the process you have to go through.
Just means F4.
Nothing. It meant nothing. That means that it doesn't matter, right? And then the all I got was like, here's a victim support number, you can give them a call. And hung up. That was what I got. And at that point, I was suicidal. I was gonna kill myself. I will tell you that for a fact.
So then from that being a feeling of where you're gonna kill yourself, what made you decide to start Hush Hush or the Kaur Movement?
It was just such a weird night. It's a really weird story, so I will just share it because
It's so weird.
It's something that just doesn't make sense to me right now. It might in the future, but it doesn't right now.
It might make sense to a lot of people out there. The way you're feeling.
Yeah. So I was sitting with my dog. And I had just gotten that call and I'm sitting there and I'm crying, bawling, whatever I was doing. And I was like, hush, hush. And I Instagram page, I was like, I need to connect with someone that has gone through this. And at that point I had a knife. I was thinking of, like, you know, just killing myself. and then my dog is barking or whatever was going on that day. And then it was hush hush, started the page, right? That day, my mental breakdown, I don't know how to explain it. I say that God saved my life, and that's because my dog was there, and I started talking to God because I felt like I was going crazy. I'm like, I need to start something so big that nobody feels like the way I feel. God, just give me one sign, and if you're not going to give me a sign, I'm going to kill myself. Like, I will do it. Like, this is how I was talking. And my dog was there, and I'm like, you know what, God? Kende hunde abhi kuch qurban karo and everything. I'm like, my dog is the most precious thing. That's the only one that's been beside me and I feel comfort with. You can take my dog.
You were going to qurban?
Yeah, I was like, qurban my dog.
Poor dog, what have I got to do with it?
I know, this is my mindset because I was that like
looking after you, protect her. You're like, I'm going to chop you up.
Yeah, literally, I was like, God, give me you can take my dog away from me if that means you will give this movement, because it's so needed in our community and it will save lives. And I didn't even call it a movement, but those words were coming up in my mind at that time. I swear to God, this is what happened. My dog was right there. I have pictures, she fell on the ground in front of me. That's why I said I was going father. She fell on the ground in front of me for about 30 to 60 seconds. And at that time, I wasn't going, hey, oh, it's okay. You're fine, you're fine. I was like, thanks, God, for giving me the sign.
Wow.
And this means this has to grow. This is something that's needed that I need to do. And then when I said that, I was just so calm. And my dog got up. And I was like, okay, what the hell is happening? I was like, okay, so that just happened. And then the day was so weird. I write this quote on my page so often. When I kneeled down in front of God, God stood up for me. When God stood up for me, I realized nobody can stand against me. Mm-hmm. And the reason I write this all the time, that day, I was seeing things. I was like, I'm losing it because I've been...
You're on the point of suicide, basically.
Yeah, I was
you got a knife there and you're thinking about stabbing yourself to death.
What I'm seeing is faces of our gurus, or my Bagu's face came up. Certain people that at that time I didn't know who that was. Yeah. At that time I didn't know who my Bagu's face was. Nothing. Right. I saw that. I saw drums. I heard horses. I was like, I don't know, something was happening where I was like, oh my God. I was like, okay, I'm thinking, because I have a social work background, I'm thinking, okay, I need to go admit myself. Yeah. So before doing that, I'm going to go to the Gurdwara and just go matha tek. Yeah. Because something's happening. I was just all over the place. I was crazy. And then I went to the Gurdwara. Mm-hmm. The energy was different. Everything was different. Imagine I'm a silent person my whole life, right? And then I went to the Gurdwara, I'm matha tek. And when I say that quote, when I kneeled down in front of God, God stood up for me. When God stood up for me, I realized nobody can stand against me. I felt a presence. I felt energy. I was something that was like, you're going to do this. And that's it. You have the power to do it. And then when I left, that was it. The movement started. And then...
You had a different aura about you.
The strength. You know when people say, how are you so strong? I have no idea. That day made me strong. Wow. That's the day where I was like, I'm calling out anything. And the truth is the only thing that matters. Yeah. Literally. That's the only thing that matters. And if I speak it, I will be safe. And nothing else.
My dad told me that same thing. A lot of people ask me the same thing. They go, why do you insist on speaking the truth? I say, my dad told me there's no greater weapon than the truth. Yeah. जो fact है वो तो alter हो नहीं सकता.
Yeah. जो तुसी कहना चाहते हो कही चलो. But facts are facts. What's happened is the truth. Yeah. And that what the Sangat and the public needs to know. Because they need to be aware that their children are in these areas.
Danger, and there are predators there.
Because I was in danger, right? Yeah. So I need to make sure that everyone else that are vulnerable and young and kids, they are not going through what I went through.
Amazing.
That's my thing. It's like,
when you started online,
I started it online that day, right?
Yeah.
I only had 4 or 5 followers at that time.
Yeah.
So when I left the Gurdwara
Yeah.
and I went to the doctor after just to talk and saying, hey, this is what's happening. Can I get an assessment? Nothing came out of it. They're like, you're anxious. You're like all of this. Yeah, like that's pretty much like, you know, that's how it kind of was.
Yeah.
And the next morning I woke up from 2 to 4 followers, 10 followers.
Yeah.
I went to 10K. And
wow.
10K the next morning.
The next morning?
Next morning.
Overnight? Just because of what you were posting, right?
Yeah, I was posting stuff and it just, the morning I woke up, it grew. Like someone shared, other person shared.
Is that, do you think that was because our
it was
community...
God. That literally, like something.
Right, well, you answer the question.
Yeah.
Or do you think that our community love a tamasha? And they love prying into other people's business.
Oh, it can be that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they think, right, oh, go on, this is a bit, this will make my week, a bit of masala here and a bit of...
Yeah.
There's a lot of elements of everywhere, I think. But that's quite a big growth.
Yeah.
From 10 followers to like 10,000 overnight.
It was. I was shocked. I was like, what's going on? It was called Hush Hush at that point. And I didn't think about the core movement. That night, the core movement, core, saying, those all things were, when I was mentally not well, those things were coming up. So when those things were coming up, I changed it the next morning to the core movement.
The next day?
So it's
only hush hush for one day?
Yeah, 1 or 2 days.
Right.
Like it was in between there and then I literally changed it.
And what sort of stuff did you start posting and what sort of messages did you get?
I started getting DMs first because I'm alone in this, right? I don't have a Gmail account. I don't have an organization. I made the page for my own healing, right? And hopefully like I can connect with someone that's gone through it. I didn't know there was that many people.
How many?
Oh.
Tens? Hundreds? Thousands?
Thousands. Now it's like...
Now it's thousands?
More than 1,000.
Really?
I know. In a week, I'll say in a week, we at least get 60 to, especially during COVID, 50 to 70 emails from new people.
In a week?
In a week.
From where?
All over the world.
All over the world?
Australia, Calgary, Toronto, Pakistan, India, Punjab, I can't even, everywhere.
Mainly females or males as well?
Males as well. That's why I started the same movement right after. Actually, a lot of men come forward about sexual abuse.
Men have been sexually abused?
Oh, yes. So many other men. Pa Yusuf Singh is an example that I exposed in the UK.
Oh, man.
Now, I'll be putting it out there, but, look, he used to wear a bana and now his hair is completely cut after I exposed him. And now he's, doing whatever he's doing, but he sexually assaulted how many boys underage while wearing the bana?
A lot of people would say, you know what, you're sensationalizing all this for likes and clicks. A lot of people might say, you've got an agenda against Pais and Gyanis and Raggis.
No.
But do they say that?
Yes, I get threats.
And then what is your reaction to it? Because them accusations come from your own community.
Own community.
Yeah,
but फिर तो लगता है यही भी इतना ही होनी है तां
Is that what it is?
कराਉਂਦੇ ਆ
चोरी एक दूजे ਦੇ ਸਾਥ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ.
Yeah,
That's what
ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਬੰਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਜੋ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਉੱਥੇ those are the people that were threatening me.
Yeah.
ਵੀ ਆਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਾਹਤੇ ਪੋਸਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦੇ ਖਿਲਾਫ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਦਨਾਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ
ਕਿਸੇ ਬੱਚੀ ਨਾਲ ਸ਼ੋਸ਼ਣ ਕਰਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਵਿਚਾਰੇ ਛੋਟੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਗਲਤ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦੇ ਖਿਲਾਫ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਜੋ ਪਰ ਜੇ ਤੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਗੱਲ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਐਕਸਪੋਜ਼ ਥੀਸ then you're anti-Sikh, right?
Not only anti-Sikh, I'm
Everything.
a part of some organization that wants to get rid of Sikhi.
Oh really?
That's
You're
what
part of Illuminati level.
Yeah,
That's what they say.
Yeah, I get so many messages.
Indian government, the God.
That's the main.
Is that one?
ਕਿਸੇ ਮੋਦੀ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ
ਮੈਂ ਖਲਾਤੇ ਨੂੰ ਮੋਟਾ ਮਾਰ ਖਲਾਤਾ is that what they say?
I do. I get messages like that.
No way.
My thing is, I just don't want what happened with me to happen to the future kids. I want security at gurdwaras. I want counseling services at gurdwaras.
I want DBS checks.
I want
the background checks.
grantees that come from India to here, for example, for 6 months, and then they just leave. What are they doing in those 6 months? Because a lot of it, when I say I have cases, I have thousands in the 4 years.
So I think that needs to sort of go ahead. Look, it's not 1 or 2. It doesn't bring up 1 or 2 cases a year. It's thousands.
Yeah,
in 3 or 4 years.
And people have to also realize
that's what I could have won a day.
Yes, and also people need to realize on my platform only 5% are shared. The rest are all we deal with privately because a lot of people don't want to come forward. Yeah, and they don't want to. I'm just like, hey, how can I help you heal so you can move on with your life? Because that was my thing. I was so stuck in the bubble for so many years. How can I help you heal so you don't go through what I went through? And you don't try to commit suicide or commit suicide, because we have cases where people have committed suicide because of things like this.
It's terrible. And then it's too late.
It's too late. Mandeep Kaur case, domestic abuse that happened in she killed herself.
Yeah, she killed herself.
She did not have the support that she needed. The support that you're supposed to be given when you go report an abuse, for example, if the justice system wants us to go report it.
We just had a case here in the UK. I don't know whether a woman who's pregnant, she committed suicide from a bridge because some guy made her pregnant. And she went to the Gurdwara days before she committed suicide to ask for help. And she was turned away and wasn't given any support. And there's a video of her throwing herself off a bridge.
I did not hear about
this. Yeah, well, that's a takeaway. That's a,
So this is what I mean.
Yeah, and these things are hushed up.
Way too much.
Yeah.
That you feel like you're the crazy one.
I had a case where a guy who was a music teacher in a religious institution got this 14-year-old girl from Italy pregnant. And the mum and dad came to me and they said, Harjap, papa ki kariye? Appa te enu kudi nu Italy bhejan lage. And I said, what? Eda thodi kasoor hai? And I managed to convince them to report it to the police. Yeah, the guy, before the police could get to him, the religious institution, they put him on a plane.
Sent him off.
Pagata, India.
Both of the cases.
Yeah, right. So ਉਹਨਾਂ ਬਚਾ ਕੀਤਾ, and then this is what happens. Yeah, ਇਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੰਮ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ. We are so quick, and this is where I am often odds with our Sikh youth groups and organizations. They're so quick to point the finger at other communities, like the Christians and the Muslims,
but not your own.
And their own. They think we're infallible.
Yes.
They think ਸਾਡੇ ਵਰਗੇ ਕੋਈ ਸੱਚਿਆਰੇ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਪਿਓਰ ਦਾ ਪਿਓਰ ਹੈ. Unfortunately, ਸਾਡੇ ਵਿੱਚ rapists ਵੀ ਆ, murderers ਵੀ ਆ, killers we are, pedophiles we are.
We're just like other communities. Yeah, we're not.
And we're worse because we should be fighting against these people.
Yes.
And instead we're calling it out to deflect blame. Then we're pointing out, oh look, but in theirs there's 10, in theirs there's 5. It's not a competition. It's not a race to be who can be the worst. There's no prizes for getting the least amount.
Yeah.
There shouldn't even be one. I can understand,
When you talk about Gurdwaras, for example, since we're on the topic, there's cases where I've gotten where a girl underage has been sexually assaulted, and
in the Gurdwara?
Yeah.
On the Gurdwara premises?
Yeah. I can't bring it forward because the case hasn't gone anywhere. But she was pregnant. She had to go get an abortion. These things happen, and the public does not know. The Sangat needs to know that you have to protect your child. Stop leaving your children at the Gurdwara like it's a daycare and going to work. That happens. Kids are left at Gurdwaras. The Sangat needs to know that you have to protect your child. Stop leaving your children at the Gurdwara like it's a daycare and going to work. That happens. Kids are left at Gurdwaras.
What happens? Surely the committee, elect ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ, ਆਪਣੀ ਸੇਫਟੀ ਲਈ ਫਾਇਦੇ ਲਈ elect ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. ਇਹ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਰਲ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ. ਕਿਉਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇਦਾਰ ਹੁੰਦੇ? Why? I don't understand why they're so eager to defend it. Why? Surely they should say, right, ਆਹ ਬੰਦਾ ਗਲਤ ਆ, ਹੈਨਾ? ਇਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਹਵਾਲੇ ਕਰਾਉਣਾ. Instead, they start attacking people like you.
I came from Canada, right? I'm not really used to what's happening in the UK. I get a lot of cases from here. That's why I'm here. And especially because of the Wankanda case. It's really big. I was here to support the mom. We canceled she canceled that protest to get her voice being heard.
Because the Gurdwara promised her they'd give her 15 minutes to say what she wanted to say, right?
Yeah.
And they said we'd apologise to her. The Gurdwara did say that as well, yeah?
Yes.
So right? And also because we're heavily involved in this case, right? So I've been following it from day one. And so ਕੱਲ exactly ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ? Because ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਸੀਗੇ.
Oh yeah.
So ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ. So after Mafi Mangi was there 15 minutes on kuch kiya?
There was no Mafi. But privately Mafi mangde hai. ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਪੇਜ ਤੇ ਦੇਖ ਲਿਓ ਮੈਂ
ਪ੍ਰਾਈਵੇਟ ਮਾਫੀ ਮੰਗੀ ਪਰ ਪਬਲਿਕ ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੰਗੀ
ਪਬਲਿਕ ਚ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਬੋਲਣ ਨੂੰ
ਪਰ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਤਾਂ ਪਬਲਿਕ ਚ ਮਾਰਿਆ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਟ੍ਰਕ ਤੇ
ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਐਕਸ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਮੈਂਬਰਸ ਆ ਉਹੀ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਚੁੱਪ ਕਰਾਉਂਦੇ ਸੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਸੀਗੇ
ਨਵੀਂ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਸੀ
I don't know the committee ਜਾਂ general I don't know these
ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਬਸ ਇਹ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਉੱਥੇ ਸੰਤੋਖ ਸੀਗਾ ਸੰਤੋਖ ਸਿੰਘ ਜਰਨੈਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਜਰਨੈਲਸ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਿੱਛੇ 2 ਮਿੰਟ ਬਾਅਦ ਚੁੱਪ ਹੋ ਜਾਣ ਏਦਾਂ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਇਮੈਜਿਨ ਕੋਈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਆ ਆਪਣਾ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ
ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਨੇ ਕੋਣੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਔਰਤ ਨੂੰ ਹੱਥ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ
ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਬੈਠੀ ਸੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ I don't even remember ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਰ ਕੇ ਨੱਠ ਕੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਗਈ and then I saw him still being there I was around her I'm like don't touch her right and
he's got no right to touch her
he has no right ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਬਸ ਕਰੋ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੋਲਣਾ she hasn't even like
started
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਆ ਸਟੇਜਾਂ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆ ਕੇ ਕੋਈ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ 15 ਮਿੰਟ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੱਤੇ 5 ਮਿੰਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਚੁੱਪ ਕਰਾਉਣ ਲੱਗ ਗਏ she's just sharing what has happened she wants her voice being heard and that's all
she's lost her son and she wants to express her grief
her grief and what everything that happened ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਹ ਨਾ ਕੋ ਇੱਥੇ ਨਹੀਂ
ਨਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਕੋਰਟ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਨਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ
that was what was being told to her you'll listen to the recording it's shocking
you got recordings of this
yes I have all of it
oh brilliant
man hun chhad di
nah I like this attitude
and I'm not letting it go because I was shocked because my focus wasn't anybody at that point my focus was her oh story share kar diya sare chup ho jao it's her time to speak her truth
what else was the atmosphere like
the atmosphere is horrible everyone
was intimidating
no a little bit for her yes 100% everyone there was just shows ਸਾਇਲੈਂਟ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਆਪ ਡਰਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਚ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਾ ਬੋਲੀਏ ਲਾਈਕ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਏਦਾਂ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਆ ਰਾਈਟ ਪਰ ਕੋਈ ਜਣਾ ਸਟਾਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ then I turned around I looked at him in the face and I'm like ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਹੱਥ ਲਾਇਆ ਜਾਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਤਮਾਸ਼ਾ ਕਰ ਦੇਣਾ and that's when he kind of backed off and this was happening while she's speaking imagine someone is speaking about something you're not even letting her speak she didn't get to say what she wanted to say and then oh piche no hat gaya then they're going into the rooms and talking like huni band karo I'm like
and you've got all recordings of this
well they didn't let us record anything there
okay
but I have recordings of voice recordings I have everything I'll be posting it you'll see it it's both because I don't know that what happens here my focus is just her not like who's saying what who's and anyone that's coming in the way I'm gonna stop it I don't care who you are okay and that was her spot to talk it did not happen then ਅਸੀਂ private ਜੀ meeting ਕੀਤੀ and ਉੱਥੇ ਉਹ we're sorry ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤੀ and this
they had the opportunity ਉਹਨਾਂ ਜਾਣ ਕੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਾਤ sorry ਕਰ ਲਈ
ਫਿਰ ਬਾਅਦ ਚ ਮੈਨੂੰ privately public ਚ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ sorry
ਚੌਥਾ ਵੀ ਚੋਰ ਵੀ ਹੈ
smart and ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ general secretary ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ already committee ਤੋਂ ਹੈਗੇ ਫਿਰ why are you guys coming up and like controlling everything what's happening I don't understand what's happening maybe lack of understanding ego ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਪਰ ਸਾਰੇ ਡਰਦੇ ਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਸ ਇੰਨਾ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ I have recordings everyone's scared ਇੱਥੇ ਤਾਂ ਰੋੜਾ ਪੈ ਜਾਣਾ ਦੂਸਰੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਨਾ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਜੱਸੀ I don't even ਜੱਸਾ or whatever his name is ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੈਸਟ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਾਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਪੀਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਦੇਣੀ ਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨ ਦੇਣਾ like everything and I guess the people that are older they also are just scared like they're just silencing and that scaredness is silencing her but the mom's not scared anymore she already lost everything you know what so when I see when she talks I at that my point when I started the Kaur movement
I remember yours
I was lost I had lost everything I don't care at this point the truth is the only thing that matters
people say like people like us we got attitudes but people don't understand your attitude up bandiya kitho you literally had a knife in your hand was going to kill yourself ta bani attitude you came back from the brink of that
I'm alive this is my second life
that's
this
right
is my second life
people don't understand where these attitudes come from these attitudes come from out of a place to do good after you're having loads and loads of suffering right loads and loads of suffering it's not something that no one wants to go and talk about their own community in a bad way, right? No one wants to do that. I don't want it. You don't want it, right? The fact is, though,
you trust people at the Gurdwara. You're matha taking. You trust everything. Like this is not what's supposed to be happening. There's so much wrong happening. Like there's kids that are suffering because I know I suffered. So like, you guys are just letting it happen. What is going on? why is everyone silent in our community? Inanu go kaddo inanu bar. And then when you start doing that, less of this would happen. They don't realize can they inanu privately matters handle karo bhai sukha da jado case hoya sta panth de samne rakh do. Right? Panch jane nu utthe kar lo ab badda showcase na karo inu dasso na kise nu. But he sexually assaulted 7-8 boys under the age of 18 and he got away with it. And now on a baal kat leya, he's roaming around. Now imagine what he's doing. He should be in jail. Legally, he should be in jail.
There was an allegation, I won't name any names, of someone, a pracharak, well-known pracharak. Very
I can name them if you
no, trust me. Right, so they're sexually abusing boys.
Yeah. We got
audio recording, right? Then they tried to cover it up. I've never heard this sort of stuff, yeah. They mouth to mouth system, Simran. मैं क्या एक डॉक्टर ही हो रही है ਇੱਥੇ ਕੋਈ ਟੂ ਕੁਆਲੀਫਾਈਡ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਓਕੇ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਦੇ ਪੜਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਮਾਊਥ ਟੂ ਮਾਊਥ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਹਨਾ ਔਰ ਨਾਓ ਵੀ ਮੇਕਿੰਗ ਵੀ ਪੀਪਲ ਟੇਕ देयर ट्राउजर्स ऑफ बिकॉज़ वी वांट टू टेस्ट देयर काम ਆਹੀ ਟੈਸਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕੰਮ ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਮਾਮਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਟੈਸਟ ਲਾ ਨੋ ਐਂਡ the victim came out and spoke out. They made the victim stand in a gurdwara full of blokes, literally shame that victim.
Traumatized.
Yeah, oh my God, what traumatized?
Imagine.
Imagine. This is how backwards, how misogynistic as well, how sexist, how whitewashed and trying to, throw everything, and how corrupt. This is the only thing I can think of is
corruption.
It's corruption. Yeah.
That's all I think about.
The only one word that comes blatantly to mind is corruption.
Yeah.
This is how corrupt the state has got of people who we put in charge of our religious institutions, where our holiest of gurus.
People have left Sikhi because of it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like, no, don't leave Sikhi because of this experience.
We need to get the bad Sikhs out of Sikhi, not us get the good Sikhs out.
Yes, that's the kids nowadays that I talk to, they don't go to the Gurdwara anymore. Guess what? Next generations, if this keeps going, none of us are going to be there. They're going to be empty.
Well, this is why.
This is what I need to change. We need to have it where it's safe and it's protected and none of this stuff is happening so people feel safe to go into a Gurdwara. Imagine saying you don't feel safe going into a Gurdwara.
The perpetrators of these crimes, they run like a cartel.
Yeah.
They don't want the next generation to go to Gurdwara.
Yeah.
Because the more people go to Gurdwara, the more people start questioning what's going on.
Yeah.
The more people start pointing out wrongdoings. The more Sangha has a collective voice. And the less they can get away with.
Yeah.
So when a Jor is operating, what's the last thing he wants? An audience. Jor doesn't need an audience.
I'm just getting to realize what's all happening in Gurdwara and what's going on.
It's like a cartel. It's like mafia cartels.
Yeah, because my focus has always been the victims.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, if this is happening, I'll go for you.
Yeah.
Because they're not able to defend themselves.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll defend for you. I'll go call it out. That's what I need to do. That's literally what I have to do.
So how are we going to now, this one movement started by you on the brink of suicide, and you've got over 150,000 followers or whatever, right? How are we going to do and create networks and sort this situation out? How are we going to clean our own backyard and mess up? What's the plan, Gurpreet? What is the plan? How do we do it? So if I say, right, I'm with Gurpreet, I've got hundreds, thousands of women in the UK, Sikh women who are going to watch this interview and get inspired and say, right, we need to do something. How are we, the people who have understanding and sympathy, people who don't want to see our children abused, we don't want to see our sisters raped, we don't want to see our cousins beaten up, we don't want to see our DV, we don't want to see any of this happen, us people with sisters and daughters, what can we do to this, and what can the people watching, what can they do?
Not be silent.
Okay.
That's the
Find your voice.
Find your voice. If something is happening bad in front of you, protect the person that's vulnerable instead of, targeting them. That's the thing. And then
believe them.
Believe them. Stop victim blaming.
Okay.
Stop
trying to find faults in them.
Faults in them. Kinne cases false on there. Statistics show only 3% of cases that are reported are false. The rest are true. So that kind of stuff. We get false cases, but we know how to, like, you know.
But you know the full.
Yeah.
You have a procedure for that, right?
Yeah, we have this procedure set up, right? But from the community, it's like if something is happening, especially if you're wearing a bana and you're a Sikh, your job and duty is to protect. Your job and duty is to speak the truth. And if you're silent and you're wearing that, you're a hypocrite.
Wow, we have a lot of hypocrisy.
Yeah, I talked to Amritpal Singh Mehro about this.
Yeah.
I'm going to be going to India now, right after this.
Okay.
And I'm here and talking about this because I want to inspire other people and other people in the community to start making change, action. I'm one person. I need everyone to collectively work together and be like, hey, galat hai. Hun kal sare sangat ch baithe iske. Sare nu pata iska bhi jo ho raha hai.
Galat hai, galat sahi hai.
Main nahi kehti iski kalli jehdi utth ke uthe gayi.
ਸਾਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ
ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬੋਲਣ ਦਿਓ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੋ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਚੁੱਪ ਕਾਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਾਇਆ ਮੈਂ ਕਾਤੇ
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਤੇ ਰੂਮ ਚ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੀ ਚੁੱਪ ਕਰ ਲੈ
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਤੋਂ ਕਾਤੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਪਿਆ ਆਹ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ where is the people here right even in Canada where is the people there ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਪੰਗਿਆਂ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਚਿਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਆਪ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਵਡ ਵਨ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਨਾ ਚਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਨਵੋਲਵ
This is what I find ironic ਹੈ ਸਾਰੇ ਚੁੱਪ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਫੇਰ ਰਾਟ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ and you know what they say ਸਾਰੇ ਚੁੱਪ ਕਿਉਂ well so were you ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਚੁੱਪ ਸੀਗੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ and karma has a funny way of serving
it does
what your road
it truly does
what you've been cooking it will serve you
it will serve you honestly
and so it's just find our collective voice then do what
and
make a stand
like I want changes happening so the mistake that happened at Rohan Khandas for example like there should be now policies and everything set up.
Safeguarding policies.
Safeguarding policies in every temple, everything. Like safeguarding as in like, hey, why are you even giving a character reference? That shouldn't even be happening. Why was the stamp of the Guru's name put in that?
Why was the letterhead with the Guru's name?
Stop defaming our Guru.
That's my issue.
You guys are all disrespecting Guru right now by doing all of this. How are you able to sleep? I can't.
They sleep, buddy. I
can't. I'm like, if you're doing all this, how are you able to go to sleep?
ਨੀਂਦ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੀ ਉੜੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੁੱਤ ਮਰਿਆ
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪੈਸਿਆਂ
ਹੁਣ ਸਾਰੀ ਉਮਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਣੀ
exactly they're like ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ when I was talking to one of them ਸੰਤੋਖ I think 2 ਦਿਨ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਮੈਂ ਹਜੇ ਸੁੱਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਰਿਜ਼ਾਈਨ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈ ਰਿਜ਼ਾਈਨ ਕੀਤਾ then why are you guys here
ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੁੱਤ ਮਰਿਆ ਉਹ ਰੋਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੌਂਦੀ
ਉਹ ਰੋਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੌਂਦੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ 2 ਦਿਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੁੱਤੇ
ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜੀਂਦੇ ਆ
and ਹਜੇ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ like you know you didn't let her speak so now my platform is gonna give her a voice to speak and say this is what I was gonna say at the gurdwara and I will make sure her voice is heard.
Let's
when I hugged her and everything the relief she felt that's the relief I was looking for when I was going through that
and that's
what she needed she's
that.
like oh after saying it when people write their stories and send them out and they get the support that's their healing process now like you know I go victim number 1 2 3 4 5 6
I see that
it's because like that the support system that I'm trying to build is like hey this happens you have a safe space and you will be able to speak your truth nobody will silence you no ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਜਾਂ ਤੇਰਾ ਬਿਆਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣਾ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ in my space when you're with us that will be questioned.
Third thing, protect each other. Protect each other,
yes.
man, from the predators. Don't side with the predators. They've already got people siding with them.
ਹੁਣ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਮਰ ਗਿਆ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ you know
that's what people are saying to me. That's ਇਹ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਕੱਢੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਇਹੀ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਮਰ ਗਿਆ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੀ ਕਰੀਏ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੀ ਮਾਰ ਦਈਏ
that's just one case how the Derby rape case that we dealt with
that's right that as well
ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ consensual sex ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ the guys are married I have proof that they're telling this to the police officer rape ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ consensual sex ਸੀਗਾ
crazy
in a gurdwara and they're like you know and then they do these crimes and ek gurdwara nu ਕੱਢ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੋਰ country ਚ ਚਲ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਚ ਚਲ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ why isn't there a database why isn't there something where if this is being said you know deal with it the right way why is he still coming in
you're right ek gurdwara chhad ke
ਦੂਸਰੇ ਚਲ ਗਿਆ ਭਾਈ ਸੁੱਖਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਚਲ ਗਿਆ
ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰੋਨਨ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਾਲੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ implicated ਸੀ ਨਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੁਣ dismiss ਕੀਤੇ ਆ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਕਿ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਤੋਂ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਕੱਢੇ ਗਏ ਆ so now
I did not know that.
so now we get messages ਪਰ ਇਹ ਕੰਮ ਇਹ ਆ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਖੱਪ ਪਾਈ ਆ ਆਪਾਂ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਵੀ ਕੱਢੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਡੇਰੇ ਲਾਏ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਹੁਣ ਹੋਰ ਕਿਤੇ ਡੇਰੇ ਲਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਨੇ ਆ ਪਰ ਇਹ ਜੋ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ it's a powerful tool
because the Sangha needs to know
but the Sangha needs to do something
yeah that's the thing they need to do
I'm just amazed at the
everyone that was
what do we call it morally impotent how people are what are they
but they're scared I think it's
are
just they're feared because you know
for a gom of warriors for a gom of like history of people where all we do is fight against injustice we're scared now
yeah he was scared he was like oh na jana hai dusre side na jana ithe
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋ ਬੰਬ ਹੈ
yeah ਇਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੋਈ ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਫਿਰ ਲੈ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ like you know let her speak why are you silencing her silence them
it's more about him pleasing them
yeah it was more about him pleasing them because ਬੰਦੇ ਆਏ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਬੁਰੀਆਂ ਹੀ ਆ
so then how is this not a mafia cartel then it's being run like that
it is I'm
you got to please the top bosses
yeah? I don't get into like who's what and what they're doing my focus has always been victims but now that I'm realizing a lot
the dots are all joining
the dots are joining and I just know that anybody that tries to stop this I will call them out
good I'm glad someone's here
whoever it is
and I think you know what this needs to become a collective movement a worldwide movement
this movement's bigger than me honestly you guys have to all get involved
ਸੰਗਤ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਚੱਲਣਾ
ਸੰਗਤ ਨੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਚੱਲਣਾ ਆ I know people have lost faith I want to rebuild that faith I want you guys coming back to gurdwaras where it's safe I go to gurdwara still I look at how much that has happened to me I go I want to be able to matha take I want to be able to do that so I want it to be safe so everyone starts going the next generation starts going
it's not anything against the Gurdwara or the Gurus
no
it's not no one's got no personal agenda against that or a religion there's no personal agenda against anyone's religion
this
or
is
faith or against
what's happening is baby
the agenda is against the perpetrators in our community living under the guise of being pure carrying out their crimes unchallenged unpunished and not afraid they're not afraid
that's why more and more are doing it
ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਆਕੜਦੇ ਆ
yeah ਹੁਣ movement ਆ ਗਈ ਆ ਹੁਣ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਡਰ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ
ਥੋੜਾ ਯਾਨੀ ਬਹੁਤਾ ਡਰ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਜਦ ਤੱਕ ਇਹ ਨਾ ਚੋਣਾ ਜੇਲ੍ਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਲੋਕ ਜਦ ਤੱਕ we you know regularly there should be one every week
so then people will think twice before doing this kind of stuff
but then
in our community
good
yeah that's what
they shouldn't even think twice they should think 100 times before doing it twice isn't long enough
exactly
so you need to, this is the purpose of that. This is how we protect each other. This is what needs to be done.
Yeah, people say, oh, you're doing it for clout following. I want more following. I want more people that can get together and be like, this is happening, this is wrong, and then we can work. Numbers matter.
If more following prevents a rape, murder, a sexual assault on a child, then God give you more following.
Yes.
Yeah.
More
people
always question it. Oh, tu ta hai tamasha aaya hai. Tu sare nu dikhana chahndi. People like it. They like to read it. I'm like, read it. This is traumatizing.
Who wants to read that?
Yeah.
And get away from that.
Yeah. The public needs to be aware that this stuff happens, and now the people that are reading, I hope they get inspired and they start.
I hope they share it.
Yeah, they share
the stuff.
Yeah, so the other kids that are younger, they don't go through this.
What you need to do is you need to reach out. You need to speak up, reach out. And if you've got any cases like this, now is not the time to be silent. Now is the time to reach out. Tell people like Gurpreet. She's here to listen. She's been through it. You're basically a full-time counsellor now.
I'm actually a full-time registered massage therapist. This is my seva that I do on the side.
Probably need a massage yourself.
Yeah, but this movement, like, this is a passion. This is not something I make anything out of. This is something I started because it saved my life.
Yeah.
And that's how it's
not a money spinner.
No.
It's not a money spinner like being in the committee.
Yeah,
that's the money spinner.
I can't believe it. The information I've received,
one of the committee members or ex-committee members who was involved, who went to court with Ronan's killers, allegedly has a building contract for the Gurdwara.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Over £100,000 allegedly.
The seva. This is their seva.
Our seva, that's ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਤੇ ਡਰਦੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਤੇ ਚੁੱਪ ਕਰਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਇਹ ਡਰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਉਸ ਇੱਕ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੋ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਦੇ
They have to protect the one that just got exposed because then now it's their turn.
That's right.
ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਉਂਦੀ
ਚੋਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਿੱਤਰ ਚੋਰੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ right so ਚੋਰ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ
That's
so if the ਚੋਰ are protecting each other abusing the Sangat's trust, abusing the Sangat's money, abusing their position, abusing the elections, abusing the selection process, abusing a guru's name on the letterheads, abusing the stamps. If they're all sticking together, shouldn't the Sangat stick together? I think it's about time the Sangat started to stick together, rather than just say, "Oh, but it's Sanuki." Remember, Sanuki gaunge, jo thodi bari auni hai, someone's going to say to you, "Sanuki."
Yeah.
And then you're going to feel it.
Yeah.
And God help you, never in that position, right?
I don't want anyone to go through that. Yeah.
Gurpreet, if someone wants to contact you, they want to become part of the movement, what do they need to do?
You can email me at info@thecourmovement.com. We have an Instagram page. We have, if you even want to volunteer and go through that process that we have.
Do it, man.
Yes, do it. Come join us.
There should be regional pockets of core movement in every town, like Southall, Birmingham, Scotland, Leicester, Derby. Create it.
I'm trying. One person, I'm like, okay, I need to, this is my first event that happened here. This is my first time kind of being public about everything.
Really?
Yeah. Everything's private. Like, I do have teams, but it needs to grow because I'm one person. I need other people
to join. How does it feel? Did you find it therapeutic?
It is. It saved my life. And I'm coming forward now and helping others heal. Is still helping me heal. So
you're still in, core movement is still in its infancy.
Yeah.
We really need like a worldwide connection centers.
I want to start a crisis line for the core movement.
Brilliant.
There's so many things I just
want. An emergency number,
Because we do get calls. I have volunteers. We're getting calls. In the beginning when I started the page, it was just me. I was dealing with 3-hour calls with random people around the world, talking to everyone. Hey, you're suicidal? No. I'll stay on the phone with you. Let's talk. Let's do this. That was me. That's when breakdown and everything was happening. I was just helping everyone that was coming to me. Now I need people to start volunteering, professionals. Give your time. Because I say a seva. True seva is giving your time, not asking anything for return.
Yeah.
I'm not asking anything for return from this movement.
No.
I'm not taking a dime. I'm putting my time. I expect our community.
How many millions have you made? Loads. You must be now. Must be on like Drake's or whatever. The Canadians. These Canadians, man, are loaded. No wonder they want to live in big houses or big cars. Look at us, we have 3-bedroom homes, 6 of us.
Yeah, you guys are really tiny spaces.
We ain't creaming the money like you are. So you must get accused of that as well.
Yeah, a lot. That's why this is why I didn't want to get money involved. This is why it took me so long.
You shouldn't, really.
I didn't want money involved, but the
people power,
the people power, the donations that are actually coming is for people that need shelters at that time. I take people out of houses and give them hotel rooms. I was doing that out of my pocket for 2 years.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was working and doing I'm like, I need to do this, I need to do this. In Punjab, there's so much stuff happening where there's there's so much. It's all on my platform. So every dime that is
good luck with India.
Yeah, I know. That's next. Every dime that has been given goes to victims of abuse. I know there's charity organizations. I know they run full time, so they pay themselves or whatever. I've never done that till this day. Okay, my thing is every dime that you donate will go, and I will prove it by showing videos, by showing it all. And I feel like I need to prove it because everyone always questions me.
Are you trying to tell me that you're not going to become a CEO on £500,000 a year of the Kaur Movement, and you're not going to employ all your immediate relatives and put them on salaries?
No.
Type of organisation you're running here, girl.
They all do that.
What have you learned from Gurdwara committees? I
know.
No,
I can't.
Yeah, some people never learn. Some people wake it up in 2 days.
They do. I'm shocked. There's organizations that pay themselves so much, but they're not even helping the victims. No. I have in UK especially, I've gotten cases where they've all gone to the organizations here, but then the cases end up to me.
You saw in the Ronan case, ਸਾਡੇ ਇੱਥੇ UK ਚ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਵੱਡੀਆਂ organization ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਇੱਕ post ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਹੋਇਆ, not even on the story.
I know. They couldn't do it.
They couldn't. And I'm like, why? And you know why I found out why? Because they're partly funded by Gurdwaras. ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਤਾਂ charity ਮੰਗਦੇ ਨੇ, ਚੰਦਾ ਮੰਗਦੇ every Sunday. Well, how can they go there and speak against the committees? The committees would ban them. But then, they do. So that means, like I said, you're choosing the side of the oppressor. Yeah? Because we have nothing personally invested in this, we know where our voices. Our voices are found, right? But because these guys have something, the income, God forbid on Sunday they don't get their £10.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's going to pay their wages and their mortgage and their flash cars and all of this and keep feed their relatives and give their relatives jobs who are unworthy of probably finding jobs elsewhere? Why is someone going to work as a cleaner for £20,000 a year when they can be working in a company which is run by their cousin?
Yeah,
and earning and getting 40, 50 grand for doing nothing. Sad, isn't it?
It's sad.
It's sad.
I hope everyone's not like that.
And these are people UK born doing this. All they've been passed down in their virasat and their sikya is how to scam people. It's disgusting, man. You have noticed that. That's not just me, right?
No. I've got information. I've seen it all. Yeah. I'm noticing it all. Everything is money driven, and I'm like, oh my God, what has Guruji probably is so upset.
Got to break the wheel, man. We have to break this wheel.
Yeah. It has to be broken, because if we don't break it, then it's just gonna get worse. We're not gonna be left. It's not gonna be a thing.
If it was up to them, we wouldn't have voices.
Yeah.
We'd be silenced. First of all, they don't even view us.
Oh, watch when we leave home, the amount of threats I'm gonna get. I already got threats.
Oh, really?
Being here, like even coming from Canada and coming here, I was like, yo, focus on Canada. Yeah, focus on Canada. You don't get involved in I'm like, yo, I don't care about whoever that is. I'm here for the victims, and they need me. I will be there.
And these are threats from guys who are supposed to be Sikhs.
Yeah.
Supposed to be protecting.
Yes. That's the mess.
They don't want to be exposed.
They don't want to be exposed.
That's the key. That's the only reason I can find. Because there's financial gain in it, or there's some sort of gain in it, or they're on some power trip.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm new, and it's 2019 when I started, and they've been in this for a while.
Man, they've been in it for 40, 50 years.
Yeah. So
you're trying to break into their circle. You're trying to smash their ring. Who the heck are you?
Yeah, that's what I think. That's.
Yeah,
and not a Mekuriviya. That's a bigger. That's
the biggest threat.
Thing.
You're a threat to their masculinity.
Yes.
To alpha maleness, right? Yeah. Oh,
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਐਡਰੈਸ ਭੇਜ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਕਿ ਆ ਕੇ ਚਾਹ ਪੀ ਲਓ ਫਿਰ come knock on my door. I have no fear anymore. There's nothing, because the truth is what matters, and if I'm speaking the truth, I will be protected by God.
Yeah.
And that's what I believe.
Wow.
So you know what? You guys can threaten me all you want. You can say whatever you want. When my day is gonna come, it's gonna come regardless, right?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna continue. Why should I sit in a room quiet and scared? I did that my whole life. I'm not doing it anymore.
You've been an inch away from death, right? An inch away from it. Right? There's nothing much more that if someone's been an inch away from death, there's nothing more you can be scare that person from. Yeah. So you've already been there.
It's my second life.
Like you said, it's your second life.
I'm here, and then my goal here now, my path, what I feel is, to anybody that comes to me for protection, I will protect.
Right. There's 3 people I need you to get a message to. 1, people out there suffering in silence. What are you going to say to them?
You have a safe space. You can reach out. You can connect with us. We will help you. Okay. That's my thing. And the ones that are suffering, look how far I've come. I was about to kill myself. So you're suffering right now, but this will pass. You will get through it, and we can help you get through it. Okay. So if you're suicidal, if you're going through you went through sexual abuse, if you're currently going through it, there is a place you can come to. Within in our community, like, we have built it for you guys. I'm building it for you guys. So don't do anything bad or harm yourself because someone did you wrong. It's our time to speak up, call them out on it, and that's how it's going to stop.
Amazing. Second message to the people who want to help the Kaur Movement or want to volunteer. What's the message to them?
For them, please volunteer. We want more people coming in and volunteering and helping others through this seva. This is a seva. So I want your professional opinions. I want everything. And volunteer your time for our community. And you can do that. You can reach out to us. You can email us, and we have a form. We have a whole procedure and everything that we go through. Give us your resumes, fill out the form, and we'll go through the process, and we'll add you into our team. If you can do it and you have the education, then we will add you into our team, and then we can go from there, right? We need volunteers. The only way this is gonna keep going is if we're working together. Sangat power.
Yeah.
People, the power that we have with our voices, the people that abuse that power, the authority that's up there, there's only 4 or 5 of them, 10 of them over there. As us, there's thousands and thousands of us. Millions. If we stand against this, none of this will be happening. Those people will be out. And that's what's needed to be done.
And your third message to the people who are perpetrators of this crime, who do this, who think they're safe, who are running these committees as cartels, and who don't want to be exposed. What's your message to them? I'm coming.
That's
I'm coming for you. Yeah. Coming for them.
That's it.
Is that how literally it is?
It is. I will come and knock on your door. If the legal system won't do anything, we will. And that's the truth.
Wow. Gurpreet, thank you for coming in. Such a powerful message, such a story, such a personal stuff. You creating a sense of unity. You know what you've done? You've given a message out to people. They're not alone. Mm-hmm. They're not alone. They can do what they want, and they have a voice. They have people who can help them. So it's really important.
Yes.
It's really important that you need to carry on your work, and you'll get support here from the UK.
We just don't want more people trying to kill themselves. Don't take that step.
Yeah.
And this is why the movement is needed.
Kaur Movement, all her contacts, hashtags, blah blah accounts are going to be running at the bottom of a scroll. So please get in contact. If you've got any messages, you can contact Gurpreet and her team directly. That's what I would suggest you do. If I get any cases, I will pass them on to Gurpreet and her team. They're operational now in the UK as well. You're going to be worldwide, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's what you're going.
That's the goal now.
That's what the goal is about.
Because we're getting so many cases, and this needs to now. We need help.
Yeah.
There's too many people coming forward for help, and I don't want to not have that support there.
And she ain't flying business class. No. Like CS, no? Are you sure?
No, I came in economy. I went from Calgary to here, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Sits at the back like me. Just hoping that the next seat is cuddly.
Oh, cuddly, right? Yeah.
So you get some sleep in. Right, that's how we roll. Anyway, so please support the Kaur Movement. Don't think you're voiceless. Like Gurpreet said, the takeaway, there's millions of us. There's only a few of them.
Yeah.
They're not going to stick around if we raise our voice. They're relying on your silence.
Yes.
They're relying on your silence to keep on doing what they're doing. Yeah. And when the day that silence, you forget about that and you raise your voice like Gurpreet, you become fearless.
Yes.
You become fearless and you help so many people. God knows how many people she's helping. Thousands of people.
Get them back into Sikhi too.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
That's the whole point.
To make our places safe places, right? Someone shouldn't have to be scared. Yeah. Why should I have to worry about leaving my kid at a Gurdwara when I know it's a safe place? Yeah. Why should I have to worry, about these things happening at all? Yeah, when I know it's a place for brothers and sisters and a community to come together. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for Mahpot and uncles and aunties and everyone to come together. That's how we are. We should be one family, united. And because there's a few bad sheep in there, we put these bad sheep in control, for God's sake.
It's been too long.
It's been way too long.
Yeah. It's time to make change.
That's what the Kaur Movement is about. It's about change. It's about the realisation and change. Gurpreet, thank you very much, Tasianya. I wish you the best on your journeys.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, brilliant. And I really, really would love to catch up with you again at some point and see what sort of response you've had from the UK. Mm-hmm. More than welcome. Please come back next time with a little bit more time. And we'll arrange a proper seminar, a proper conference hall.
Yes,
for sure. And then I'm sure, there's a lot of people who wanted to contact you, wanted to meet you, but time is also a factor in this. So please, everyone, get in touch. Please support Gurpreet. Please support the Kaur Movement. It's your movement. Mm-hmm. She's doing it for you.
Mine. It's for us.
She's empowered. She's awake.
Yeah.
So this is now. You're not feeling empowered, or you're where Gurpreet was 2018 or 2019, where she was. She's going to help you out of that. And baaf kiti agge. Tusi fadoge, ek chalogi baar. But the main thing is, pehla baat agge karo.
Yes.
Yeah, baat agge karo. Please help her. Not just females. Males as
well.
We want males. You said that.
There's so many men that want to help and get involved.
Right. They should bring them on board, man.
Yes, I want to, but there's not that many. We need more. I want more men coming and saying hey, this is wrong. Like, protect us.
Every father should be contacting you. Every
Yes.
brother should be contacting
Yes.
you, right?
Yeah.
Every son should be
Like,
contacting
this is what's
you.
happening. You guys
Yeah.
come with us. Why are only
You're doing it for
females
them.
going?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys come with us and protect us when we're calling these men out.
Right? And then it'll be the movement.
Yeah, exactly. This is why it's the Kaur and Singh movement.
Brilliant.
I want both.
Brilliant. Thanks for watching, guys. It was a great interview. If you're affected by anything that this interviewer said, please contact Gurpreet, and please keep care of yourself. Go and see your doctors. Go and reach out. Get that help that you need. It's traumatizing, but if we don't talk about it, it just continues. So raise your voice. Mere to Gurpreet bolo, thonu saਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ।